something to you. It's like you can smell blood in the water. For me, it's like a pheromone. So is that for you, or is it just, you know?
Nah, see, when I walk into a room, it's crazy because when I walk into a room in MCs, I'm more I'm trying to be the glue. I'm trying to unite the room. You know what I mean? Because I know we could get more accomplished together. So
Right.
I'm trying to, you know what I mean? So I'm more trying to unite the room. So what I do is when I walk in, I say, okay, cool. I know, I say, okay, there go the cool kids over there. That's the kids that's too cool for school. I identify. And once I identify everybody, then I show them and I take my cool off. I take my cool off first. You know what I mean? Like artists that's done you know, like when when I get called to judge, like, you know, judge events, you know what I'm saying, like showcases and all that stuff. I don't sit in the green room. I don't sit in the VIP. I don't even sit where the judges sit. I'm at the front. I'm in the front of the stage, rooting artists on. They be like, and they all be like, "Oh shit, Ali Vegas is in front of the stage rooting me on." Like, I'm like, yeah, because if I take my cool off, you know what I'm saying, then everybody else could take their cool off. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my mentality of when I walk into a room of MCs. It's like, you know what? We could get more accomplished together. So everybody take their cool off, put your ego to the side, and let's get what we need to get accomplished and make this a memory. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. That's dope. That's definitely a new way of thinking. I appreciate that. Thank you for that, go.
Yeah, because it's easy because, you know, if you know you could, like, if I know that if anybody jumps out the window, I could, you know what I mean, I could chew their head off. It don't make sense for me to wear that on my sleeve. I might as well be like, hey, you know, nah, it's cool. But, you know, if you jump out the window, then all right, cool. Let's get them. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. It's a humble brag, if you will.
What got you into ghostwriting, and what year did you write your first song? Like you ghost wrote it.
I mean, I'm just the natural. I'm just the natural. I'm just a natural, like, coach. That's just who I am. Like, I'm just a natural born leader, natural coach. Like, I know where, and I'm a studier, so I know where everybody is supposed to be. Like, I know everybody's spot. Like, I know, like, okay, and people around me will tell you, I know what makes everybody better. So I know what you could do better before you know what you could do better. So what happens is when I'm in the room with the other artists that like Trackmasters got, like when I'm in the room with other artists, I know what makes them better because I don't think I'm not thinking as a label mate. I'm thinking as a creator and as a fan of the person that I'm listening to. So I know, like, I'm like, no, when I listen to you, this is what I want to hear. So look, this is what you need to do. So what I do with people is if I'm in the studio with them, we do two or three things where it's like, here, I know how you supposed to sound, and then I know, like, okay, let me take you out your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like, let me take you out your comfort zone so that way you learn, you're not afraid to try new things. You know what I mean? And this is going to enhance what you do. So, like, that's how it is. Like, but as far as when I first wrote my first song and when I knew, like, ghostwriting was me, was my baby sister could sing. Like, I mean, my baby sister, she's always been a beast with the vocals. I mean, like, Sister Act 2 was about her. Like, she take on whole choirs by herself. You know what I mean? They used to have the McDonald's choir competition. She take on whole choirs by herself. She a beast. So it's so crazy. It's like the Five Heartbeats movie when Duck was writing the songs with his sister. That was me and my sister. That's what me and my sister do. Like, I would just write songs and be like, yo, here, come sing this. And she'd sing it. And that's how we, you know what I mean? And that's how we would do it. So that's when I learned, like, okay, I learned how to write R&B first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I learned. I learned writing R&B with my baby sister. I'd be like, yo, here, sing this. And then when she sing it, I'm like, all right, cool. So then once I got to Trackmasters, it was easy. I would sit with the R&Bs. I would sit with the R&B groups and singers and be like, yo, here, try this out. And that's how it started. Then everybody started coming to see me.
Okay. So do you see yourself returning to the battle circuit after notable returns like Cassidy, Reed Dollars, or Ines?
Nah, I mean that's
just behind you. That's a thing of the past now.
Yeah, I mean that's they, you know, like that's they lane. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm if ever called out, like I'm Rocky Balboa, man. When you like my ring's outside, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's different. Being on the streets battling and being on stage battling is two different things, because it's like one is comical and one is like, you know what I mean? One you judged on what you really saying, you know? So that's the difference. But I never, you know, like my ring was always in the street when it came to like that, like as far as the battling thing, it was always in the street. You know what I mean? I would go, if somebody called me out, we'd go uptown. You know what I mean? We'd go uptown, slay that dragon. We'd go over there, slay that dragon. Like you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like my stripes is, you know what I mean? Like they already imprinted. Like it ain't a rapper that came up that ain't have to see me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I walk around like that.
I'm so glad you said that, brother. Anybody that you care, like any name you care about throwing out there, or you got to protect people's anonymity?
No, I mean it don't matter. I mean, you named them. If they ever jumped, I slayed them. Like, you know, like it's like
you never lost a battle ever. It's like, you know, aside from Blade, we know
because in Queens you have to, like in Queens it's so, like in the borough is you got South Side, North Side, you know, the West Side, like you got the bridge, so everybody's ill. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is ill. So like, but I'm like coming up, I'm the baby, so I always would have to protect. You know, like when we do on the Oddcast on Fridays on Bars and Hoops Radio, we had Flush, my big brother Flush, and we was telling the story on how, you know what I mean, how they was chilling and they had the night off and people were still coming at their head. You know what I'm saying? And like you ain't gonna come at my brothers while I'm around. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I was just slaying everybody. And then that's when Big L, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to my big brother Big L. He was like, man, ain't nobody wanted with you. You an animal. And then that's it. We go uptown, slay everybody. We go, you know what I mean? Jersey, we do wherever we had to go, you know what I mean? We don't warrant it, but if you ask for it, you know what I mean? You're going to get it, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how, you know, everybody, they know what it is.
I'm very unfamiliar about you having, you know, your tenure with Big L. What was Big L like?
I mean, L was smooth. He was El Coleon. He'd just, see what I mean, be on the side. He'd chill on the side of you know what I mean? He'd be like that, like observant. He'd sit, play the background, observe. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like how I am. It's a calm presence because you know your abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if somebody say something slick about me, I'm jumping out the window and somebody's going to, you know, like, so you know your abilities. So L was the same. He just like, and I'm just telling them like, nah, don't worry. I got this. You know what I mean? Y'all take the night off. I got this. Don't worry about that.
You would tell Big L to hang back, I got this?
Yeah, you know, like, chill. I got this. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I was fortunate to be around. Like, I was a baby around, you know what I mean? Like McGruff and all of my big brother McGruff, and I'm like, you know, like, shout out to the zone. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm around lyrical animals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And this ain't when you could be around just to be around. Like you got to be a lyrical animal too.
Yeah, back in the days when years, I assume you're in my age range. I'm in my mid-30s, so I can just like back in the day, you would get your ass whooped if you came trying to have bars and you didn't have them.
Yeah, you ain't if you got to be an animal. I
If you
mean,
ain't taking 3-4 lines in, they'll fuck you up. Where I
yeah,
came from.
like we had opened the strip up and closed the strip. Like I mean, I've had it to where we'd start rhyming. Somebody would say something, and we'd start going at it from like 4 p.m. and be going to like 11, 12 p.m. Everybody people be stopping, getting out of cars. Like, what? Who want it? You know what I mean? I had sister groups jump out and try to double team. It was crazy.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That is what's up, man. So on the I'm sorry, you got
go
ahead. While we're talking about the dope niggas you around, I know you get asked this all the time, but I gotta ask, and I gotta take you back, right? You know who I'm talking about, but I'm gonna take it back just for dramatic effect, right? 1997, October 21st, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That Brim album, right? It's a dope album, but that last song with AZ and Half, that $500,000. You acquired in knowledge, my brainwaves caused riots in college, signed scholar in this world of violence and dollars. When I heard that man for the first time, I was like, yo, who the fuck is this, dog?
Yeah.
And then I just started hearing them more and more with AZ. I'm like, yo, that was my first. I've heard the Nas's, I've heard the Roz. They're all dope. They're God. But I was like, yo, this guy is the next one.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, Cannabis was out and everybody was on Cannabis, and it's well deserved. Cannabis is a lyrical genius. But to me, Half was going to be that one. He was special. I heard it within the first 4 bars, like I'm talking about.
Yeah, he can't. You know, like
your tenure with him. So can you tell me how you met Half and what kind of dude he was?
I mean, when I met Half, we was my man Do, my man Damian Blyden. He managed AZ.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, Half. That's So he was like, "Yo, let's go stop by the session. We gonna We gonna go meet up with Half because we just was making our rounds. Like I'm the baby, so we went upstairs. First, we went upstairs to visit Fat Joe. We went and visit Crack. Then when we left Crack, Half was downstairs in the same studio. So he's like, "Yo, we gonna go check my man $500,000." So when we went in there, Half was like, you know what I mean? It was funny because I walked in there the same way, you know what I mean? Just cool, calm. Mm-hmm. Half was like, come on, man. You lyricaLiVegas, man. D played me the joints. Like, you like, come on, man. So we started chopping it up. And it was just like, he was just more amazed because he more amazed because a lot of people can't conversate with him. Even the smartest people can't hold a conversation with him. You know what I mean? But my intelligence is, I mean, everybody will tell you. You know what I mean? Like my brother, Imam Thug. You know what I'm saying? Trash. Like they gave me. I mean, Imam gave me the ISIS papers, the book, the ISIS papers at like 11. So like my mind is always gonna be supreme to any room I'm in. So when we chopping it up, when me and Half chopping it up. He like, yo, we gotta do something. So he like, yo, son, what's the schedule like? I'm like, let's knock it out right now. I'm right here. He like, word the mother. I'm like, yeah, let's knock it out right now. So they had the Italian guitar joint playing. And I went in there, you know what I'm saying? We started outside the booth going crazy to the beat. And then finally, you know what I mean? My man Punch that did the joint, he was like, yo, y'all gotta go in there and lay it down. Like, y'all, yeah. Y'all wasting bars out here, just like going there. So that's when I went in there. We went in there, and that's how the Italian guitars, you know what I mean, came about. Like he was, I mean, like have always, you know what I mean, been special. Like we about to do the sequel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do the sequel with his son. You know.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna do the sequel with his son, Papi Miliato. I had him on my live the other day. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do the sequel to Italian Guitars, The Son of Half. You know what I mean? So
yeah. just talking about, you know, the knowledge and everything that you and have. Are you guys you know, you just search for the higher, you know, the knowledge, or is it part of any 5% thing, or just the thirst for knowledge?
I mean, well, like I was I was like raised like I was raised by like my mom. So I was raised by my mother. So I mean my uncles are very prominent. You know what I mean? My uncles are very prominent and a lot of, you know, in the street and out the street. But like on the corner of my block, it was crazy because on the corner of my block lived Mr. Butchie. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Butchie was, you know what I mean, Malcolm X ex bodyguard. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so every day I'm like at 6 years old, since 6 years old, I'm getting straight knowledge. You know what I mean? We watching, you know what I mean, like we watching like documentaries, like real, like, you know, because Malcolm always stayed with the camera. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? And Mr. Butchie like got this raw footage, and we watching raw footage. You know what I'm saying, of things like. So it was like, so me seeing that at a young age, you know, like we watching at the corner stores. It's crazy because at the corner store, it was Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? So it was so dope because what was so dope is like a friend of mine that I grew up with, it was crazy, like real proud, you know what I mean? A real black, like strong, like her pops was super strong. You know what I mean? Like her pops was super strong, like real black militant. And it was so crazy because so fast forward years, like we get older, and she was like, yeah, you know, my pops came through one day. He's like, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like my pops came through one day and was like, he seen Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali at the store talking. You know what I mean? It was like, so I was like, yo, you owe your pops an apology. Like, call your pops. Like this is 20 years later or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, call your pops. You and your mother owe him an apology. She's like, why you say? I'm like, no, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali used to be, yeah, they used to be at that corner store. I'm like, I seen the raw footage of that. So I'm like, you need to, you know what I mean? You need to talk. You need to call your pops and apologize to your pops.
That's a blessing. That you seem to be really blessed and privileged to experience a lot of the things you experience in such a young age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to see because they wouldn't know, like, if I didn't see that, I probably wouldn't know that my neighborhood was like prominent figures, you know what I mean, traveled the same streets that I'm growing up in. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the kids around the neighborhood don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't know that you come from prominence because everything is already bought out, so they can't see the dominance of their people. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because by the time when I'm looking at that footage, I'm seeing everything black and white. Everything is black or it's white. So when they growing up, when we growing up, you know what I mean? The poppies got the stores. You know what I'm saying? And then now the Akis got the stores. You know, you see what I'm saying? So we don't know that, like, we don't know that we come from prominence.